So in May of 2008, I took command of an air cavalry squadron. A bunch of helicopters, about 500 soldiers. I was the CEO, the new boss. I come in and take charge, and 60 days later, July, I go to Afghanistan to visit the unit that I would be replacing in the most kinetic fighting area on the planet. The very valleys where the attacks of 9/11 were planned and rehearsed. And so I go to visit him, the new boss. I've met the people, my middle managers, I've met my staff, but I don't have relationships with him yet. I met him, I'm the new guy. We're like two dogs when they meet. What's the first thing they do?
Sniff.
They sniff. What do they sniff? Each other's rear ends, don't they? That's right. It's the first thing they do. So that's what's going on in Old Horse with Blackmon right now. You know, what's he like? What does he do? What does he not like? All of those things are going through everybody's mind. And the quicker we can get through that, the quicker we can move forward in our organization. I tell people, I grew up in the Forrest Gump army. You remember when Forrest Gump, y'all seen the movie, right? You don't turkey, but y'all seen Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
All right. So you remember, Forrest sets the new company record assembling his M16. You remember that? The drill sergeant runs through the barracks and says, "Go! Why don't you put that weapon back together so fast?" And Gump looks confused by the question. He says, "Because you told me to, drill sergeant." Right? I know it's a little too close, isn't it? I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is. Alright, so, anyway, Gump sets the company record, and he's like, "Because you told me." That's the army I grew up in. Leaders solved the problems. Leaders made the decisions and gave the orders, and I did what I was told, like all good soldiers. And if you consistently did what you were told, did your job, you would progress through the ranks until one day you get to tell people what to do. That was the army I grew up in. But that was not the organization that I knew I had to have to be effective. And so I realized I had to change the organization so that, or change the culture of the organization so that it was innovative. And I did empower and trust subordinates. Well, we use those words a lot. No, trust. I trust you. I had a boss one time tell me that all the time. "Jimmy, I don't trust you. Just call me before you make that decision." You get it. Trust is not what you say. That's rhetoric. Trust is what's felt by the person being trusted. That's how you know you're being trusted. When they feel trusted. You can talk about it all day long. It doesn't mean anything unless you do it. Otherwise, it's rhetoric. An organization of hierarchy, we can only be as good as Jimmy Blackmon ever was. That scared me. Because I looked around at some bright people with great ideas. And collectively, we were a heck of a lot smarter than Jimmy Blackmon was. But I had to have an environment where they were willing to share those ideas. And those middle managers that had grown up in the same culture I did won't shut those ideas down. Because those people are out there. I got them all together and I said, "Look, if we take the local 5th grade class out to the gym and we put them on a free throw line and hand them a basketball, 3 or 4 of those kids are going to dribble that ball a couple of times, look at the goal, and with perfect form, they're going to shoot nothing but net. Okay? 5 or 6 of those kids are going to bounce it a little awkwardly, and they're going to bang it off the backboard of the rim. 3 or 4 of those kids aren't even going to hit the backboard. They're not. A certain percentage of that group, no matter how good the coaching, no matter how long you work on the form, they're never going to shoot 70% from the free throw. They're not. But good leaders are going to get 69% out of a person capable of shooting 70. They're going to work together. But we're not all equally talented. We don't all have the same potential. We don't all have the same backgrounds, the same passions, desires. To maximize this organization, the right people have to be doing the right things and motivated in the right way. That's leadership. That's what leaders do. They figure out how to maximize the potential of their organization. Now,